Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Life Insights with Dr. Mercy. We're still on Mohbad's case. If you saw the last video that I posted, I said I am waiting on God. And I'm praying at the background for my friends, colleagues out there, bloggers who are doing a great job back to back. Honestly, I give credit to all of them. You understand? I give credit to all of them. I listen to all of you as much as I can, and I'm just praying and I'm asking God, to prove himself. Because like I said in my last video, when God swings into action, there's no hiding place for the liars, for the pretenders, for those who are trying to cover the truth about Mohbad's case. Mohbad must get justice, and justice Mohbad will get. Okay? So, you all know that on this channel we are for relationships, So, today I want to discuss something very important about relationship between a parent and a domestic help. Last week I did a video, but YouTube wouldn't let me post that video because I tried to show what I saw on Instagram. I actually saw that with Gist Lover. He posted a video where a domestic help, like a teenage girl, was left home with a baby, and the teenage girl had the baby sitting up like against the wall, and the teenage girl was poking her toes into the baby's mouth. She was putting all her toes, like she stretched her leg to the baby's head and put her toes. She was putting her toes one by one into the baby's mouth and was moving the baby's, using her toes to move the baby's head from the right to the left, pushing the baby's head, from the right to the left, even inserting her toes into an innocent baby's mouth, and was almost choking the baby with her toes. And after she did that, she also stuck her tongue in the baby's mouth. So I want to believe that maybe the mother, the parent of the baby, may have a CCTV, like a camera in the house, and that was how she got to know what was going on behind the scenes. And that brings me to, that really touched my heart, because I remember I had my own fair shares too. You understand? As a young mother, I know it's not easy. You understand? It's not easy to be a young mother, and depending on where you are, in your career, in your education, your business, your job, whatever you do, and then you get married, and then your pregnancy, then you have a baby, to keep up, it's not easy. But I am here today to encourage young parents and to let you know that, look, nothing you do, nothing at all that you do, be it career, education, ministry, whatever you do, nothing has a greater value, than the time you spend with your child. You understand? Do not place any greater value on any other thing but on the time you spend raising your own babies, raising your own children by yourself, and then within your eye view. I'm telling you, because a lot of things could go wrong with our children, especially at that level, and they won't be able to communicate anything to you. Thank God that woman has a camera in the house. If she didn't have a camera in the house, only God knows for how long that has been, going on, for a teenage girl to be poking her dirty toes into the mouth of an innocent baby. Imagine the bacteria, imagine the infection, imagine the torture. You know, I YouTube wouldn't let me post it. You can go on Gist Lovers page on Instagram and you can view it by yourself. You understand? Because I don't want my account to be messed up on my YouTube account. So you can go and look at what I'm talking about. Is there anything that Gist Lover posts? Is always it was just last week. Right? So you can see for yourself and see what I'm talking about. So my dear young parents, please, let's be more intentional. Let's be more conscious of how, who do you leave your children with? Who do you leave your baby with? I'm telling you, the world is so wicked and it's so corrupt. Even the young ones that we have out there now, I'm telling you, you'll be so amazed what they have been exposed to. You understand? As some of them, like, you begin to wonder, like, if they've been initiated into some kind of spiritual world activities. Because what on earth would be motivating? What is inspiration? Who did she see doing that? Like, what does that mean? She kept the baby a distance away, like from her legs. And then she stretched her legs into the baby's mouth and was poking the baby's mouth, like inserting her toes into an innocent baby's mouth. And she was twisting the baby's head from the right to the left against the wall. My goodness. I had my own share too when I was a young mother, Thank God for Jesus. Yeah. I've been on this journey with Jesus. I never abandoned him anytime. He was with me. I took him along from when I met my husband, when I married him. Every step that I took, you understand, I did with Jesus. And he has been my strength. He has been my protector, the protector of my children. I mean, today now I'm talking about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, my first baby would have been abducted from her preschool center by my domestic help for no reason. She already left my house and then she went to my daughter's school to pick my daughter from school. For what? She was already out of my house. And mind you, to the glory of God, by the grace of God, I have never ever been that kind of woman, that kind of parent that treated another person's child like, oh, this girl is not mine, so I'm going to treat her whatever way I want. No, I was never that kind of person. I've always been, kind to other people's children. I think I had about one or two of them when I was a young mother. I experimented. Eventually, it didn't really work out the way I wanted, and I stopped. And I stopped managing. I started managing by myself. You understand? I stayed home with my babies for breastfed for like the early stages. I breastfed very good. I went back to work. I think maybe like 3 months I breastfed fully. I went back to work. I took my babies along with me, to my job, put them at the daycare center. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I understand whatever any young mother is going through. I really do understand. But please, we need to be more intentional with our innocent babies because they cannot speak. That is the most dreadful part of that. They can't speak to you. They can't tell you the ordeal they have been through behind your back. All that you'll get is maybe the baby will fall sick and then you start to figure it out. You understand? And actually in this world that we live in right now, nowhere is safe. Just like a month ago, I heard that a daycare at New York, they were also doing some drug business at the background. And then they were hiding drugs in the baby cots where the babies were sleeping. And some of these babies inhaled the drugs and their lives, were put at risk. And they were rushed to the hospitals. I didn't follow the story to know how many of the babies survived, right? But what am I trying to say to you? At home, if you say you want to hire domestic helps, is risky. Childminders, risky. Daycare, risky. Everywhere is full of risk. And that's why we need God. We need Jesus. We need his help. We need his protection. You understand? We need to be intentional about who we hand our babies over to, who helps us to co-parent them while they are still baby. You don't want to turn your back and your child is being initiated into things that you have no knowledge about. We really need to be intentional about who helps us when our babies cannot talk. It's really a very sensitive time in their, in their life, in their formative years. So we have to be intentional about it and very careful about it. So that makes me to want to share this with us about what actually should be the relationship between a parent and a domestic help. What actually should be, or how should we treat our domestic helps when we have them? Especially my people in Africa, my people in Nigeria. Over here in the US, it's not easy to hire a domestic help to yourself. You're going to pay out of your nose. So we mostly use, daycare centers. You understand? Babysitters. Most babysitters, you take your babies to them. You take your babies to the babysitters. If you want to hire somebody and bring them into your home, I think you have to pay, you're going to pay more. Child minding in the US is very expensive. Babysitting is expensive. Even daycare is expensive, especially if you don't have the government subsidy, like childcare subsidies that they give, to parents, especially those who have low income earners. You understand? So it's a very sensitive stage of a woman's life, especially a young mother, new mother, who might still be in school, who might be juggling with the challenges of a job, your business, and at the same time, you want to grow your family. But let's say you are maybe you're in Nigeria, and there's a way we do it in Nigeria. There are people who help you to find these domestic helps, and you bring them into your home. You sign agreement with the agent and the domestic helps parent, and you bring those domestic helps into your home. Please, I want to help a little bit. It's just a suggestion. It's just a suggestion. Leave me your comments in the comment section where you think I'm coming wrong. Please, let's just rub minds together. What do you think, or what do you think should be the relationship between a parent and a domestic help? This is what I have to share. Take it as you find it valuable. All right? And leave me your comments in the comment section. 1, love your domestic helps like your own. Please, I beg you in the name of God. If you heard me earlier, that was how I treated my domestic helps when I had them. I had maybe three those days, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, because my first baby now, she's 20. The second one approaching 18. 20 years ago too, I was in that kind of shoe where I was like, oh my God. I was even a PhD student. Yeah. I was a PhD student when I got married. it was rough. It was tough to keep up. You understand? I was teaching at the university. I had to respond to my boss, respond to my supervisor, plan my lessons, mark my scripts, grade my scripts. You understand? My dear, keep up as a new wife, new mother. It was a lot. Keep up with my ministry in the church. It was a lot. I needed the help. But like I said earlier, I never treated anybody's child like, oh, you are not mine, so I'm going to be mean to you. Please, don't be mean to your domestic helps. Because you know what? Your children will get it at your back. I'm telling you the truth. Love your domestic help. Love them because they're people's children too. Another woman like you was pregnant for 9 months, carried that domestic help in her womb and gave birth to her. It's just because, okay, their situation is kind of not good enough, and then they decide, okay, my child can come live with you, help you to raise your own children, and then you pay me the money. Sometimes it's money you pay. Sometimes they give you the domestic help for you to help raise them. Sometimes they also come from family members. You understand? Maybe from your hometown, you take, somebody says, oh, if you don't mind, my daughter can come and live with you. You help me raise her while she helps you raise your children. So you have no reason to treat them meanly. Please, do not treat another person's child meanly. Please be nice to them. Let them eat when your family is eating. Don't let them be eating by themselves in the kitchen or in the hallway. You understand? Or at the backyard. And don't serve them food that is, food that is stale. After you and your family have eaten the fresh soup, then when the soup is stale, you say, oh, yeah, this is good for the domestic help. Don't be a parent that does that. Don't be a woman that, do that to another person's child. You understand? I know some women who, after they have dished, the better part of the soup for their husband and their children that they treat like eggs, they will add water to the remaining part of the soup. They will add water to it so that the soup will lose taste. And then that's the one they will give to the domestic help so that, the soup will be more. You understand? But when you're adding water to soup that you already finished cooking, what do you expect to get? The taste is going to be altered. So the rich taste is for you, your husband, and your children. And then the watered taste is for what? Your domestic help. I don't want this video to be too long. I'm going to continue part 2. All right? So we're going to leave this as part 1. What did I say? Love your domestic help with, as your own child, like your own child. Okay? Love your domestic help as your own child. Because another woman like you carried that domestic help in her own womb for 9 months. It's just because they have maybe financial constraints, they're having a hard time in their family. They decide to say, okay, my child, go live with somebody else so that you can be raised over there. And as you're helping them to raise their own children, please do not be mean to your domestic help because your child will get it behind your back. We'll continue in part 2. All right? Stay tuned.